Insane, you make me crazy, insane, that's how I feel, insane, you make me crazy, insane, that's how I feel,
Hey guys,
What's up?
thanks for coming back for another episode of Dysfunction Junction. I hope everybody had a good week. Mine was just as dysfunctional as always. You know, you can't have, a quiet week with 5 kids. Just doesn't happen. And you always have one kid that has the most problems. And this week was Piper's week. I think Piper's going to be in the running for a long time because she's 11 and she's full of hormones and crazy, stupid stuff. And she's just a nutball. I love her, but she's a nut. I swear I need to change the type of this podcast to the scary truth of raising a teenage girl, because lately she's terrifying me. Absolutely terrifying. I mean, I just don't remember being this nutty in 5th and 6th grade. I just don't remember doing that. I don't know if it's the same thing with childbirth, how you forget the pain and everything that you went through, because otherwise, let's face it, you're not going to have any more kids. At least I wouldn't. But I guess you forget what a turd you are, because I just don't remember this. I don't. I know that everything that she's going through is completely normal, and I know one day she's going to be my best friend. And I've said before, she's the girl that I would go to if I had to hide a body. I'm just afraid that my body is going to be the body she's looking to hide, because she's killing me right now. Seriously. On Monday, she had a project due for school. She's getting into, bigger homework deals where they have to present stuff and to have a presentation and speak in front of the class. And she had a project due. She chose Marie Curie. And first, let me say, I hate helping my kids with their homework. I really do. It is such a big production. Not only do I have to deal with the 2 littles, Brody and Caden, but I have to deal with Piper right now. I mean, I really don't know what's scarier, raising an 11-year-old child or doing 5th grade homework. I've never felt more dumb helping my 5th grader do her homework. So I have her do it in the living room or in the kitchen at the table, because her room is such a pit that she'll never find it the next day. So she does it in the kitchen. And of course, the 2 little boys want to be with me. They don't want to be with their dad. And he does try, but they don't want to be with him. They want to be with me. So that's a mess in itself, because she's trying to do her homework. I'm trying to help her. They're on my lap. They're writing all over her homework. And it's crazy. But not only that, it's that they don't. So that aside with, you got the crazy kids crawling on the table, drawing on stuff. She's crying, he's crying, my husband's crying, everybody's crying. And, here I am, trying to help her with, 5th grade math. And they don't teach them the same way as they taught us. When I was a kid with math, you put the 2 numbers on top of each other, you added or subtracted from left to right, you add 1, you borrowed 1, and boom, done. They don't teach the kids that way anymore. They have them group them in groups of 10, and they have them guesstimate and all this other stupid stuff. And it's ridiculous. And and of course they have to show their work. And if they don't, show the work the way they're taught, they get in trouble. So of course then she's crying. This is not the way she taught us. I'm going to get in trouble. And it's just too overwhelming for me. I can't handle it. I mean, fraction, I can't do it. I can't do homework. It's just crying, and then I'm crying, and I hate it. Ugh. Did I already say that it took me 43 years to figure out that 1/4 of a cup was really just 1/4 of a cup? Seriously, I just can't. It's too much. Where was I? See, I'm so flustered that I can't even think of what I was talking about. Oh, yes. So Monday, she had a project due. Her project on Marie Curie due. She had to bring to school on Monday. And that's her really first big project. So she had a costume that she had to bring in. She had a trifold that she had to bring in. And because she was doing a project on Marie Curie, she had her radium that she had to bring in, which is basically, we got a glass jar from the dollar store and some glow-in-the-dark slime. And I didn't want her to carry all the stuff on the bus. That's a lot to carry. And plus she's got her backpack to carry, and it's still kind of slippery here in the driveway, and I just didn't want her to have to go through it. She gave me such a hard time about riding the bus. What kid wants to ride the bus? My kid, that's you. So I basically had to put my foot down and tell her, I'm the boss and you are not riding that bus. You are going to get a ride to school like all the other cool kids in this town, damn it. So she stomps off mad, of course, mumbling under her breath about how much I'm a bad mom and I don't care about her. And I just want her to look dumb and blah, blah, blah. I take so I start packing her stuff up. She goes off to do, whatever, not get ready, because I must have told her 15 times, did you brush your teeth? Did you take your pills? Piper, did you put your shoes on? Okay, did you take your pills? Did you put your shoes on? No, don't worry about what he's doing. Did you put your shoes on? Okay, no, what about your teeth? Did you brush your teeth? Why haven't you brushed your teeth? Piper, put your shoes on. Did you put deodorant on? What about your hair? You're not going to brush your teeth? You need to brush your teeth. No. You need to put your shoes on. You know what? Go to school with no shoes. I don't care. I really don't care. That is my morning, people. Every single day. Plus her older brother who's 16, and to do the same thing with him. He has fed the dogs every day for like 10 years. And he never remembers. Ever. He forgets to feed the dogs every single morning. It is amazing how these two people even get dressed every day, to be honest. I mean, I think I would have 2 naked kids on the bus with no shoes and dirty breath and stinky pits. But I digress. Back to packing Piper's bag. So, another thing, I'm packing her school bag. I am packing up her stuff, and she's still being a turd. I'm packing up her stuff. I'm putting everything in a bag for her to bring to school so she can, carry it in. And there's, nothing's falling out, nothing's leaking. And the slime that I had gotten for her, the radium, I had put a Ziploc bag on top of it, and I had put an elastic bag around it. And, and then I'll, like I said, put the elastic rubber band around it, whatever. And I decided I'm going to put it in a Walmart bag too, just in case. What if, the rubber band breaks and the thing falls off, and I just didn't want it getting all over everything. So I go to put the radium. I go to put the radium in another Walmart bag, and she comes around the corner and she's watching me do this. And she's like, Mom, do not do that. And I turned around and said, what are you talking about? She's like, do not put that in a Walmart bag. I said, why not? She goes, because you make us put everything in a Walmart bag, and that makes us look poor. I said, we are poor. I don't know what else to tell you. Would you rather me put it in a Dollar Tree bag? And she's like, you don't know what it's like, Mom. Okay? You put that in a Walmart bag, and then everybody's going to know that we shop at Walmart. Everybody in this town shops at Walmart. We got these boots at Walmart for Caden. They were on sale for $3, okay? $3. They're the cutest little shoes. They look like little cowboy boots. And when my husband brought him into school in these boots, his teacher said that 3 other kids in that classroom had those same boots. Okay? So everybody knows that you shop at Walmart. Okay, it's a tiny little town. That's all we have here is a Walmart. We have a super Walmart, okay? Not just any Walmart, not just a plain Walmart. It's a super Walmart, okay? So you should be glad that you get a super Walmart. Not a lot of people get to shop at a super Walmart. Some people are only privileged to have a regular Walmart. We get a super. Anyway, so she mumbles off again about how I don't care about her and I'm going to make her look stupid. La 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 la. I was so mad at this point. I said, you know what? Fine. You want to ride the bus? You ride the bus. You are going to ride that bus and you are going to like it. I know it didn't make any sense at the time to me either, but I was so mad. I didn't even know what was coming out of my mouth. So I took the radium out of the Walmart bag and I stuffed it in the other bag. I said, you know what? I know, mother of the year over here. I've won the award a couple times, but this is one of my best ones. I said, you know what? I kind of hope that it does spill just to prove to you that I was right. Have fun riding on the bus. And then vomit went flying out of my mouth and my head spun around like 3 times. It was awesome. Do you think that bothered her? Do you think she cared at all? No, it didn't. Not at all. She put her backpack on and she walked down to the bus, just happy as a clam. Do, 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 do. Oh my God. I was so mad. All the way to work, all I did was talk about, I talked to myself under my breath and everybody, even the boys were good on the way to school. Nobody fought. Nobody hit each other. Nobody threw anything. My husband didn't say a word because they knew I was so mad and I was liable to just pull over and just chuck them all out of the car at that point. I could not believe that that she was so worked up about the Walmart bag. Then I started thinking. I said, wait a minute. I am so stupid. And I'm sure you're thinking, oh, she's feeling bad. She's feeling bad that she overreacted. No. I'm not feeling bad that I overreacted, which I probably did overreact at this point, but I wasn't feeling bad about that. No. I was feeling bad about the fact that I wished that slime would break in her bag to teach her a lesson, but the clothes that were in that bag were my clothes. My clothes. So not only did I wish for my daughter to break her, report, but I wished that the slime would get all over my clothes. I know, it's wonderful. Isn't it wonderful being a mom and sharing stuff and bonding and all that crap? Yeah, it's lovely. Lovely crap. That's my life, ladies, gents. A big old bowl of heaping warm, hot, steamy crap. Oh, yeah. Have kids, they said. Get married, they said. Yeah. It'll be great. Be lots of fun. Lies, people. All lies. All of it. Anyway. Can we talk about my Cato the potato for a little bit? He's having a really hard time. And it breaks my heart to see him struggle. See, I'm really, really thinking that he's on the spectrum somewhere. But I'm sure I'm hoping it'll be easier to get him a diagnosis than it was for my older son. It took us 12 years of testing to get Jared's diagnosis of Asperger's. And I knew since he was 2 years old that he was on the spectrum, and nobody would believe me. Oh, he's too little to really diagnose, and give it some time. And so I did. I gave it time, but I knew from the very beginning that he was different. And that's okay. It's a good thing. He's a great kid. He's sweet. He's loving. He's caring. Lots of people think that, kids with Asperger's don't really have feelings or that they can't feel. And that's not true. They do feel. They just don't know what those feelings are. They can't. Sometimes it's hard for them to tell what that feeling is. So, and because we fought so long to get Jared this diagnosis, we had to teach him what was appropriate and what isn't. And I remember this one time when we went to go pick up my oldest son, Noah, from camp. He went to camp for a week or so. And we went to go pick him up. And we were walking. Of course, I have these little cabins in the woods. And we were walking down this little, wooded path there. And Piper fell. She must have been like 3 years old. And she fell down and she was crying. And Jared literally walked over her and just walked away. And I said, Jared, honey, your sister is hurt. And he goes, yeah, I see that. So she's crying. He goes, yeah. And he was looking at me like, and? I said, when people fall and hurt themselves, the proper thing to do is to say, are you okay? Do you need some help? Help them up. And he was like, oh, okay. So from that point on, that's what he would do. It's not that and at that point, not like he felt anything. He didn't feel, I shouldn't say that because I just said that they don't feel anything. It's not that. It's just that they don't, now I'm stumbling on my words. It's not that he didn't feel anything. He did, but he didn't know the feeling that he should be feeling would be empathy. So he would fake it. He knew mentally, he knew what the right words to say were, but that necessarily may have been the feeling that he was feeling at the moment. So we had to fight really hard for him. And, Caden, thank goodness, has a case manager and he's got a counselor, and we've been able to get a lot of really good help that we didn't even know was available when Jared was little. And part of that's because, Caden he's actually my nephew, and I'll get into more of that at another time. But we've adopted him. He's been with us since he came home from the hospital, and he had a really difficult time, and we've learned that even though he may not remember anything that's happened to him, or he may not have been exposed to certain people and certain things, or he doesn't remember being exposed to it, his brain remembers it and his body remembers it. So, and his brain didn't develop properly either because of things that were being done while his mother was pregnant with him. So he has a lot of anxiety. His body has a lot of anxiety, and he doesn't know how to deal with that. And so we're working on getting him the help to help him express himself and help him cope, and coping skills and calming skills and things like that. So I'm hoping that, actually, I'm really confident that with early intervention that Caden's he's going to be fine, but it's a long road for him, and it's hard. It's hard work. Most of us are just born with knowing how to, deal with our feelings, or maybe not so much. I mean, little kids still have to learn that. He's only 4, but you still have to be taught that. But a lot of, you're born knowing what sad feels like. You're born knowing what happy feels like, or what angry feels like, or, excitement feels like. And I think for Caden, I think he's feeling all of it at once. He's so overstimulated, and it's kind of like things that you would think would feel good are kind of painful for him, and things that you would think are painful feel good to him. So it's like his wires are a little crossed. So we just have to, do a little rewiring, and he'll be okay. But I just wish that we had some of this help back when Jared was younger, and we wouldn't have had to work so hard for him. But, and people ask me, what would it change if he did get the diagnosis? That he's that way. What makes the difference? And I said, he would know why he acts that way. To think a certain way and to act a certain way and to behave a certain way is, and knowing that not everybody else does that is hard. So to be able to have a word or a reason to why you do the things you do, it's very helpful. And it really did. It's a big thing for him. He is very open about his diagnosis. He is very upfront with and he's got a great group of friends for the most part. They're all a little quirky like he is. And sometimes he will offend people, not purposely. He doesn't know that what he's saying is offensive lots of the time. Sometimes he thinks he's just joking. Sometimes he's like, well, I'm being honest. Don't they want me to be honest? His friends will go to him and say, dude, that was kind of a douchebag thing that you said. And really, he would be like, really? I didn't know that I, hurt that person's feelings. And he will go to them and say, hey, look, I'm really sorry I hurt your feelings. I didn't mean to. I have Asperger's, and sometimes I don't know. I don't have a filter. So he will, he'll own it. He'll apologize and he'll own it. He's a great kid. And, what was I going to say? Just went right out the window. He's a great kid. He really is. And one of the biggest, that was one of the reasons why they would tell us that. They would say, oh, Jared has all the classic signs of Asperger's, but because he has friends, they didn't want to label him with that. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? First of all, have you seen these kids' friends? They're all a little quirky like he is. They all have issues. They're all a little different, and they would say, I don't know what to say, maybe, because I would say, look, I'm watching my son. I'd be at school functions and I could watch him talking to other kids, and they were completely ignoring him. And he was just chatting away, talking. And lots of times they were completely ignoring him. And if they just, they would walk away in mid-conversation, and Jared would either A, follow them and continue talking, or B, he would just turn around and talk to whoever was next to him. And I would ask him, Jared, what was going on? Why, it didn't look like he was listening to you. And he would get so upset, and he would say, they were listening to me. He was talking to me. He was just busy and he had to go. And that wasn't what was happening. And I saw it. And it's really hard when you see other little kids being a jerk to your kid. And I don't know if I've said this before, but even if I had, I'm going to say it again. It's really tough to remember that the kids that are being jerks to your kids are just kids. And they're going through stuff too. But it doesn't make your heart break any less. It really doesn't. And it doesn't make you want to punch that kid right in the face for treating your child that way. But they're kids and they're all dealing with stuff. It sucks, but they are. It's like Piper's having an issue with this one little girl in her class. And Piper swears, she goes, I don't know what her problem is with me, but she's always so nasty to me. Nasty. And come to find out, this little girl's dad is leaving. He's leaving the family. And she's taking it out on Piper. So as much as it kills me that this little girl's being a punk to my daughter, I kind of feel bad for her at the same time. Because she's just a kid and she's hurting. So, and I kind of feel, and what was I going to say? One of the things I was going to say too is to touch on the teacher part was when we would go to these testings, we had Jared tested a couple times, and finally the last time he went, it was like the fourth time, and he made me promise that I wasn't going to get him tested again because he didn't want to do it again, because it made him feel bad too that they would keep testing him. And finally, the last doctor we went to said that, he didn't believe that you had to check off every box with Asperger's or autism, that the spectrum was so large that you didn't have to have every single symptom. That's ridiculous. He says it's just like with cancer. One person's not, one person may have vomiting and lose their hair, and the other person might lose their hair and never vomit a day in their whole, sickness. But the person still has cancer. Just because they don't have the same symptoms doesn't mean that he's still not sick. So I thank God for that doctor. I really, really do. But in the testing, they would have the parents give this paperwork to fill out for the teachers. And the teachers always said the same thing. Jared's a great kid. He, he's nice. He's friendly. He's got lots of friends. Oh my gosh, I've been talking for 25 minutes. I had a whole bunch of other stuff that I wanted to say. Well, that's not going to happen. Oh, maybe I can be quick about this. But, he had a lot of friends and they just didn't see, any of the things that he would do. Because one of the big things that Jared would do to comfort himself when he was anxious is to pace back and forth and flap his hands. And he didn't do that at school. If he did it when nobody else could see him because he knew that it was weird. And he'd hold it in. He'd hold everything in till he got home. But even the little quirky things that he did do, right? Which there was a time when he was in 6th grade and he dropped one of his, they had gotten lollipops or whatever for a treat for behaving. He dropped it on the floor and he started to cry. Cry. Is that something that a 6th grader would do? So, but what I wanted to say was you can't really blame the teachers either. The teachers have a lot on their plate, a lot. There's big classrooms. They don't have a lot of help. And unless this kid is a lot of trouble, they're really not paying that close attention. And it's not their fault. Like I said, they don't have a lot of help. They got a lot of kids and a little help. So the ones who are being good, they're not really worried about. That's just, and so that's why we as parents have to be really proactive in our kids' education and their health and their mental well-being. We have to be responsible for that. We have to be on top of that. And I know life gets busy with your work and your other kids and your spouse and your maybe your church and your hobbies, but you have to fight for your kids. You've got to do whatever it is you have to help them. And with Caden, he does a lot. He goes to school 5 days a week. He goes to counseling. He has his case manager that comes every week. It's a lot for a little guy, and it's a lot for my husband too. He's a stay-at-home dad, and I work full-time, and he takes the kids to their appointments, and he takes them to counseling, and he takes them to, because Jared has counseling every other week, and Piper has counseling every other week, and I know you're probably thinking, my God, those kids are crazy. But hey, I'm being proactive. I'm getting it in now, and everybody can use counseling. Hell, I could use counseling. I'm still here, aren't I? I'm still living with all these crazy freaking people. My God, I'm a nutball. Anyway, if you guys are all still here, I'm going to stop talking about this because there's a whole lot of other things that I wanted to talk about. And I didn't realize that I was talking and yammering on. Oh my God, it's been 29 minutes. This is going to be a long episode because I did a lot of research on Easter. And I would really like to talk about it. I would like to talk about it. Oh, really quick though, in case I didn't say so before, I don't know if I told you this before. I might have. I'm pretty sure I did. That the J-Man, which is Jared Baird, Poopy Face, he loves it when I call him that. His drama team actually won their competition, their drama competition for their for their district a couple weeks ago. So then they got to go to states. They went to states last night and they came in 6th. So I thought that was pretty cool. So I want to say congratulations, go Vikings. Woohoo. So, oh my gosh, this is going to be a long episode. I think I'm going to make it to like 45 minutes. But I did a lot of work on this, so I'm going to talk about it, damn it. Anyway, so for all my church peeps who are listening, please forgive me and my swearing. But I am very worked up this week. Anyway, so next weekend is Easter. And not only is Easter a really big deal because of Jesus, but it's also a big deal because of the candy. Gonna have some candy. Wah, 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 wah. I love candy. Any kind of candy. Chocolate candy, chewy candy. No, not chewy candy because it sticks to my teeth. But hard candy, all kinds of candy. Mostly chocolate though. That's my favorite. So I did a little investigating, and actually there was so much more that I wanted to talk about in this episode because I also wanted to talk about Easter dinner. Easter dinner is a big deal at our house. Usually, the kids, the Easter bunny comes, they open their baskets, we go to church. I make all the kids who never go to church any other time of the year go to church on Sunday. That's another story, and I'll get into it another time. But then after church, we come back here and have a great big dinner. And this year, my husband doesn't want to do dinner. He wants to go out for dinner at a restaurant with my kids. I don't know how I feel about this. I mean, do we not remember the chocolate guzzling incident of 2017? It was a disaster. Everybody gets so worked up. They get so anxious. I just don't know how I feel. I mean, it's good about going out to dinner because then I don't have to clean up anything. But then it's like, I don't know. It's just weird. I mean, is it untraditional to go out to dinner? I mean, do other people go out for dinner on Easter? I know you go out to other people's houses, but to actually go to a restaurant on Easter, I don't know how I feel about this. I don't know. Let me know. You guys, leave me a quick message. Try out that speak pipe on my website, dfpodcast.com, and let me know what you guys do. Do you guys have dinner at your family's house? Do you have dinner at your house? Do you go to a restaurant? What do you do? And is it weird that I feel weird about going to a restaurant for Easter? I just can't. I don't know. I just don't know how I feel about it. Anyway, but I've been doing some investigating on Easter candy because I've recently found out that Halloween is not the biggest seller of candy. It's Easter. I mean, I wouldn't have guessed that. I would have thought it would have been Halloween, but it's not. It's Easter. Lovely, wonderful Easter. So I started thinking about all the candies that I like for Easter. So, of course, I love a chocolate bunny. Nothing like a good old chocolate bunny biting into them ears. Saving the rest, putting it in the fridge. It's awesome. And I do enjoy a Cadbury egg now and again. I remember when I was a kid, they had this commercial where this bunny would come out and go buck, 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 and he would lay eggs. And every time my mom would say, Kimmy, what does the bunny say? I would say, buck, 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 buck. That was cute. That's cute. I'm going to put that video in the show notes because I went and looked for it, and it's so cute. So anyway, so I did a little extra digging, and I found out what the top 10, was it 10? Top 10 candy was for Easter. Now, this is just totally random, not in any sort of order. These are just the ones that I went to a bunch of websites, and these were the ones that kept coming up over and over again. So jelly beans, Whopper Robin eggs, the Cadbury mini eggs, the Cadbury cream-filled eggs, Peeps, chocolate bunnies, Reese's Easter eggs, which BT Dubs have surpassed Peeps in sales in recent years. as the number one Easter candy. Jordan almonds, pastel M&Ms, and pastel candy corn, which I don't even know why they sell candy corn at Halloween. It's disgusting, and they definitely shouldn't sell it at Easter. They shouldn't do it. It's disgusting, and I hate it, and I wish it would just go away. I don't get it. I mean, it's like eating plastic. I don't understand. Anyway, so because these, kept coming up on the list, I wonder, why? What made them so popular? So I made a list of a couple of fun facts on a couple of the candies. So I picked jelly beans, chocolate bunnies, and Peeps. And I found a couple of really cool, interesting facts. And I'm going to share them with you. I think this episode might go to an hour. What am I doing? It's 35 minutes. Oh my God. Okay. So let me see. Jelly bean. Fun fact number 1. First of all, don't like jelly beans. Okay. They're gross and I find them too sweet and I don't like to eat them. However, it takes 7 to 21 days to make a jelly bean. Fun fact number 2. In the early 20th century, a jelly bean was slang for a man of no style, and no substance. What? Fun fact number 3. And I just realized that I wrote down fun fact number 3 and 4 are the same one. Oh my gosh. Fun fact number 3. So I'm going to have to pull one out of my butt. Fun fact number 3. The jelly bean is associated with Easter because of its egg shaped. Fun fact number 4. Jelly beans were President Reagan's favorite candy, and he used them to help him quit smoking when he was the governor of California. And the new fun fact number 5 is that Jelly Belly created a new flavor, blueberry, specifically for President Reagan's inauguration. Whoop, whoop. I wish I had some sound effects. I got to get some of those. Next on the list, chocolate bunnies. I love me some chocolate bunnies. Who doesn't love a good chocolate bunny, huh? Am I right? Yeah? Okay. Fun fact number 1. The largest chocolate bunny ever made was made in 2014 for Choco Fest in Brazil. It weighed over 8,000 pounds and was over 13 feet tall. And if you or anyone you know is interested in purchasing a giant bunny, the largest one that I could find comes from Mies Candies in Lancaster, PA. Mies's giant bunnies weigh over 25 pounds. They're 3 feet tall and cost $500. But if you're looking for a more reasonable big bunny, we offer no, not we. Oh, scratch that. Erase. I just copied and pasted all these fun facts. So if I'm saying something that doesn't make sense, that's why. Fun fact number 2. The world's most expensive bunny was hand-carved by a European chef and sells for about $49,000. But be careful when you bite into him. His eyes are made of 1.7 carat diamonds. You freaking kidding me? That's redonkulous. Fun fact number 3. At the Wolfgang Candy Company's annual chocolate bunny eating competition in 2016, the record is about 9 minutes to eat a chocolate bunny. Oh my God, I totally messed that one up. It should have been, how long does it take to eat a chocolate bunny? A 1 point something pound. Oh, whatever. Screw that. I messed that one up. Erase. Go to the Wolfgang Candy Company's website. It'll tell you. They have a candy competition there, a chocolate competition. I guess it's like a pound of chocolate. How long did it take? It took that guy 9 minutes. Anyway, fun fact number 4. 87% of parents will buy or make Easter baskets for their children, and 81% of them will then proceed to steal candy from them. Fun fact number 5. 89% of Americans think chocolate bunnies should be eaten ears first, while 5% prefer to begin with the tail. And just an extra fun fact, just for giggles, a fluffle is a group of bunnies if you live in northern Canada. Who knew? And finally, Peeps, the most disgusting candy ever made, besides candy corn. These come in a really close second. Look, it's not that they're the most disgusting, okay? They're just really, really sweet, and I can only eat just one. And then what happens is they come in a package of 3, and I can never remember to put the Peeps in a Ziploc bag, which means they dry out, which means I've wasted $1, and I have 2 really hard bunny-shaped rocks. And it's just terrible. However, fun fact number 1, it used to take 27 hours to make a Peep. That was in 1953 when Sam Bourne acquired the Rhoda Candy Company and its line of marshmallow chicks. Back then, each chick was handmade with a pastry tube. And now they quickly set about automating the process, so now it only takes 6 minutes. Fun fact number 2, an average of 5.5 million Peeps are made every day, and all of them at the Just Born factory in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. In 1 year, the company makes enough Peeps to circle the earth twice. Fun fact number 3, yellow chicks are the original Peep and still the favorite. Fun fact number 4, Peeps used to have wings. Did not know this. I thought this was a cool fact. They were clipped in 1955, 2 years after the first marshmallow chicks detached, to give the candy a more sleeker and more modern look. And finally, fun fact number 5, 37,000 Peeps weigh about as much as one boy band. At least if that one boy band is One Direction, prior to Zayn Malik's departure. The scientists at Just Born have estimated that it would take more than 37,000 pieces of marshmallow deliciousness to equal the combined weight of the band. Following Zayn Malik's departure, the Peeps team adjusted that number to 29,882. Okay, so there's a couple weird things about that, but the biggest one comes to mind is that do they have nothing left to do but to figure out how many Peeps it would take to, make a boy band? I don't get it. Very weird. Very, very weird. Anyway, I think I should wrap this episode up. Oh my God. I've been talking for 47 minutes. Oh my God. It's my longest episode ever. Oh no, I lied. It's 42 minutes. I lied. Anyway, I am going to wrap this bad boy up. I don't know where my list is. I got to find my list. My list to say where you guys can find me at. I found my list. All right, people. Thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate it. Please, if you like what you hear, please go to iTunes, leave a message. It's now called Apple Podcast, formerly known as iTunes. It's still iTunes for music, but I guess for the whole podcast thing, they call it Apple Podcast. If you like what you hear or you don't like what you hear, or you have a suggestion, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. I'm interested to see, what you think I could do better. What do you think I'm doing okay with? Let me know. And share me, people. Share me. Share me with your friends. Share me with your coworkers. Share me with the people on the street. Listen, I'm okay with sharing. I'm really okay with it. You can, tell people about me. Show me some love. Put me out there. Okay? If you feel so inclined, please visit my Patreon page. I have lots of good stuff over there that you can't get anywhere else but there. Become a patron. I do have some free stuff over there, but if you do, if you can find it in your heart to buy me a coffee, look, I'm cheap. It's $1. Cumberland Farms. I would really appreciate it. I wish we had, I don't go to Dunkin' Donuts. I can't afford it. I'm too poor. Like I said before, if I go to Dunkin' Donuts, I save that cup for like a week. And I just fill it up with Cumberland Farms coffee. Hey, got a big family, got to save some money somewhere. Or go to my website, hang out there, take a look around. I'm still working on it. It's still a work in progress, but you can go there, listen to the podcast. You can leave me a comment. You can sign up for my newsletter. Also, if you sign up for Patreon, not only can you buy me a coffee, but I will give you a shout out on the show. I will say your name. Say my name when no one is around. Okay, anyway. So, what was I going to say? Oh, also, you could, if you want to do a little bit more, like $3, you could listen to the podcast like a day earlier. How awesome is that? But then you have to promise not to tell anybody what happens, because that's a spoiler. Anyway, if you want more, you just can't get enough of me, and you want to, just hang out and talk and whatever, visit us on all of our social media pages. You can connect with us on Facebook at facebook.com/dysfuncjunk7. And of course, we have a Facebook group page at facebook.com/groups/DF podcast. If you prefer Twitter, you can find us at twitter.com/dysfuncjunkmom. Sorry about the dysfunct junk, but somebody took my dysfunction junction stuff. So when I find them, heads are going to roll. All my Instagram peeps, if you look us up on Instagram /dysfuncjunk7, that would be awesome. Plus, you can also see the show notes for this show and lots of others on my website at dfpodcast.com. That's D as in that's D as in Doug, F as in Frank, DF podcast. And last but certainly not least, of course, if you want to visit us on patreon.com/dysfunctionjunction. And as always, don't forget, remember that you don't have to be a perfect parent to raise great kids. We're all in this together, one little snotty, rotten kid at a time. Anyway, all right. Thanks for listening, guys. Peace out. Have a great week.
You
Bye.
make me crazy, insane. That's how I feel, insane. You make me crazy, insane. That's how I feel,